Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. I am David. I am joined as ever by April, Kynwyn, Doug and Zindy. This is a special international edition of the show, and well, I say special, it's going to be international from now on because one of our players has left the country. We have been betrayed. April, are you able to say where you are and what you're working on?
I am. So I am in Bellevue, which is a city next to Seattle in Washington State on the west coast of the United States of America. And I am working as a principal creature concept artist at Hidden Path, which is a video game studio on the D&D video game.
Which is very, very exciting.
The coolest ever.
Yeah, I was already looking forward to that game, and yeah, that has not changed.
Now it's going to be full of blink leopards. It's great.
Yeah, can't wait to fight your monsters IRL.
I just opened D&D Beyond, and apparently my computer remembered from when Kynwyn visited me in Melbourne, so I'm logged into your D&D Beyond.
Eeky bitch!
Where are my characters going?
Please?
Why have I only got 4 characters and not 50?
Fix Dagmar's specs.
No, she's your problem.
So,
Wow.
last session, you killed a god. And,
Yeah. Oh.
We did.
Yep.
We
Attack and
did.
dethrone god.
yeah.
Again.
Having agreed to essentially escort a unit from the Oceanic Trading Company through Mercer's Pass, with the goal of ostensibly of clearing the pass for safe traffic, though you eventually learned that there was a secondary or perhaps primary goal that you were not initially aware of. You encountered not only some of the horrible abominations that you fought the last time you went through this pass, you also found the bodily manifestation of the old god Guldag, who had been in the process of creating a new body for himself, but was really bad at anatomy and basically just made a meat pile.
I was going to say, that guy really did not need the manual.
He goosed it.
Yeah, God of Chaos,
Okay.
not good at learning.
Yep, just throws out the IKEA manual and puts the screws in anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
You slew the creature with no small amount of radiant light, and thereafter
Radiation fixes lots of
disintegrated
things.
the remains of Guldag's bones that had been lodged into this part of the world, almost like a poisoned dagger in the landscape. And with that, the rest of the horrible creations in the past died slowly and painfully, but quite surely. And it seems that you have completed your task of clearing this pass of this hideous corruption, and you finished your journey to Fern Glen on the far side of the pass, where you consulted with Captain Osmar Verdini, who actually fell during the battle, but you were able to bring him back from the brink of death. And he thanked you for your efforts, and then announced his plans to return to Providence through the pass with his surviving troops to ensure that it is indeed clear and to inform the Oceanic Trading Company of your success. You, however, are not returning because this is just one step of your journey as you're heading westward to Kaiwathel, the elven citadel on the shores of Lake Keldrith. So I actually forgot to review the end of last session's video, so I can't remember exactly where we left it. I think we left it with you going into Orsi's mansion and bedding down for the evening. Is that correct?
Yes, chilling in the Mind Palace.
Good. I was sort of 90% sure of that, but I do not trust my own memory. So the morning, Edie's morning, you actually have no way of telling that inside Orsi's palace,
They got
But
clocks.
yeah, but you are aware of the passage of time, so you know it must be morning outside. Are you going to have your breakfast in the palace again?
You're damn right.
Can literally
Yeah,
have
I don't see us doing anything else anytime soon. For breakfast, Photericus has come down having, like, stage makeup swapped his eye and his ear.
Oh.
Do you
Given
sleep
all of the
funny?
weird anatomy that was happening last time around.
Is that permanent? Is that a chaos thing?
Sorry, is what permanent?
Is
You look like you slept real funny. You know that thing where you wake up and your arms like
oh, and you've got like
and
sheet
stuff.
marks on your face.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Excuse me a moment.
Actually,
He's
Ah,
got
you look quite handsome this morning, actually.
Thank you, Dagmar. Photericus will then sneeze, and it will all sort of disappear into confetti.
Ugh.
Part of me really regrets giving you access to things.
You sure?
You do
It's
have the
true.
power to take it away at any moment.
Isn't that what he does? Someone gives him something and immediately does all he can to make him regret it.
But mind you, now Orsi knows how a dungeon master feels.
I'm playing in my little sandbox and turning it against me.
I mean, he did manage to get that soapbox into combat immediately after receiving it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's true.
Quality. I love that soapbox. So good.
The soapbox was great.
I'd like to thank the
It's not
DM for giving it to me.
Mm.
All right,
Am I
what are we doing
considering
today? Are we headed south, right?
Well, he's headed on, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well,
We've got nothing we need to do here,
Southwest?
unless anyone says anything pointedly rumory.
I'm
Uh,
looking at the map.
You are headed west, not south.
That's fair.
We
yes.
are okay. We are here, right?
Yes.
So
It's
we're
whatever.
The
Yeah.
Howl,
Yeah.
yeah,
through-
the
yeah.
Howlwood,
We've got the big
Howlwood
map
is to
rolled
your
out.
south.
Oh my god, we're taking a new road.
Yeah,
Yep.
we haven't been
Exciting.
this
You have
far.
not travelled the West Road before.
We'll find our Minotaur friend. I hope he's there.
Oh, Spider Grove.
Oh, that sounds great.
Sounds like
Hey,
it's full of
Vinny, do you
spiders.
remember the first time we came through a forest and you found spiders?
I do remember finding spiders. That was, yeah.
Maybe there'll be more of those lads.
I mean,
Isn't it wild that spiders used to be like the worst of our problems?
this
Yeah,
is the thing, right? I feel like I'm okay with spiders. If all we encounter on this trip is spiders,
Yeah. I mean, we're
Not a
looking
bad
for a
trip.
rat that's covered in gore and death. Spiders sound alright.
I mean, I feel like the rat's just been absorbed. But
I feel like something definitely
maybe now
terrible
that-
has happened to the rat.
Maybe now that Winston's dead, maybe it was linked. Should we do a scry? I don't know.
could be worth it.
I feel like yes, maybe yes.
I don't think I can scry from in here though. It's pocket dimension, so we should probably pop out.
Well, I suppose we'll finish having our breakfast
Yeah,
and
finish
pack
your
it all up.
breakfast. No rush and
Yeah.
whatever.
What is Morsod's
Dagmar
breakfast?
will
If-
eat her cheese much faster.
I was about to ask if all of your characters can just have whatever breakfast they choose. What are they eating?
Morzod has the big breakfast. He's got sausages, hash browns, tomatoes, mushrooms. There's probably some salmon in there, and it's just a lot.
Protein. What protein?
Yeah. Scrambled eggs.
He just has like this big, like on a really big plate with like a little drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
There's a
10 of
I like
couple
those.
of-
Dagmar's eating ribs for breakfast.
Creamed spinach leaves.
I suspect Photericus is eating something decidedly drow from his time in Escalgria.
Oh, so you've got a bowl of spiders.
Yeah, possibly spiders'
Wow,
eggs.
Really all coming up spiders.
But, yeah, that's right. Just eating baby spiders. We're like, yeah, spiders would be great. Nom, 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 nom.
Spider porridge.
Probably a lot
Protein.
of mushrooms, various fungi.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
like mushrooms on toast type stuff.
Cheese and wine.
Yum.
That'd have a lot
Possibly
of
some
cheese.
cheese and wine, but I feel like
American
that's more of a
cheese.
lunch/brunch thing.
No,
I'm going to start the day with
any time of day,
some mushies.
They're Italian. Wine with every meal.
I like to think that Dagmar hasn't eaten a single mushroom since she left.
That is, there's probably
That's
is some shared trauma there. But
It's like, you know
probably,
what? Fuck
yeah.
mushrooms.
She
Give me
did-
some bechamel sauce.
She discovered bacon, and there is no going back.
It's true. She's eating everything that will shorten her dwarven life to a good 200 years.
Also, he's got like the mushroom like pate on like a piece of bruschetta, that a gluten-free bruschetta that's like this big.
It's basically like, it's so hard, it's a cracker.
Yeah, a chive on top.
Okay. So you finish your breakfasts. You step out of the
Was it?
closet that you were in. Also, are you going to scry?
Yeah, should we scry? Should I scry? I should probably scry, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I feel like maybe checking would be,
I'll just have a look just to see if there's any less red.
yeah.
Okay, I'd like to scry on Specky, please. The rat,
Okay.
just in case anyone's forgotten his name.
You take out the sylvan mirror, gaze into the glass, and this time nothing happens.
Ooh.
It doesn't even show you a red pulsating mass. And your likely conclusion is that the subject you are searching for is either not on this plane or is dead.
So I got bad news. Or good news? I don't know. I think it's
news.
bad. Yeah, I've got news. So I can't see Specky in the sea of red anymore. So he's either plane shifted or he's, like gone and plane shifted to a farm upstate,
Was you looking? Oh, he's got a lot of space to run around.
Yeah.
Was you looking specifically for him or his ring?
Well, this is scry, not the locate spell.
Oh,
It's
right.
Yeah. I could do the locate spell if you want me to.
Well, I mean, if he's gone off
Wait,
plane, then that'll break, and we'd sort of know, wouldn't we?
Certainly shuffled off some sort of mortal coil, that's for sure. Probably.
Yeah, if he's in like
Or
someone's
farm.
bag of holding or something.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. He's fine somewhere. Well, I suppose we
All
should
right, well,
go there.
we know where we're going, right? Shall we just head
Well,
off?
yeah, all those wizards or something got eaten by red, or I don't know what that guy said. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, let's hope they just threw a party with lots of red paint.
Or, I mean, they could have dropped him. What if he got out? Like, we didn't see them. We just saw nasty business where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, I was scrying on him specifically, and there was a lot of red involved. Well, let's just go to Coverdale and see what happens.
But that's the plan.
Off we go.
Okay.
I feel like
Just
Morzod would
fighting
secure
everything.
snacks from the inn on the way out because, we can't hop back in the Mind Palace.
Morzod
yeah,
is the
that's
mum
fine.
friend.
Yeah, I
Listen,
need
you
to
gotta have
sleep, so I can
snacks.
do that again. I guess
Yep.
I did sleep, so I can do it again, but not now.
You can get cider to go also.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking, small cask of something.
Okay. So you load up the Titan
Mm-hmm.
and make your way out of town into new uncharted lands. Well, not uncharted, it's been quite thoroughly charted. In fact, there's a map, but
Most used road.
it is
Not
new
Uncharted,
to you.
Morzod lost the charts.
What?
All good, carry on.
So, as you look at your map, you notice that it is roughly 41.6 miles, I say roughly, to Parada, which is the next stop, which normally, for if you're on foot, that would be 2 days' travel and you would have to find somewhere to camp down on the way. However, you are not on foot, you are traveling, now that you are no longer towing a cart behind the Titan, you are now moving essentially double speed, so 60 feet per second, which means that you can get to Parada in a day. Is that the goal? Cool.
Yeah, unless any nonsense happens on the way there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep
what
an
could
eye out for
possibly
castle
happen?
areas. Maybe
Oh,
roll on the
another
table a few
dinosaurus.
times. It's all good.
8-headed T-Rexes.
Blimp Tarask.
Okay, I should actually roll, just check what the weather is like today.
Like my Pathfinder GM. He likes to tell us the day of the week and what the weather's like and all this kind of stuff. Because
Yep,
he's got a table for it.
the weather, it is a clear, sunny day, still fairly cool because it is winter. And not particularly windy. It is actually quite a pleasant winter's day.
Nice.
All right.
Wonder if we should get a rag top for the Titan.
Yeah. Like a
Talked
sort
about
of
that at one point. Yeah.
waxed cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Just
allowed
in
to
case
more?
it does rain.
I mean, never mind. We painted it. It's...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that we're going to be in too much trouble if we add a
Yeah,
sunshade or something.
Mm.
yeah, we're fine.
Sun's nice at the moment, though.
It's true.
Okay. So you're on the road. You leave Fern Glen behind you. And you're getting into... Certainly there are fewer signs of civilization on this side of the road than there are on the, say, the north-south road between Heron's Perch and Providence. Out this way, the road is... it's in fairly good condition, but it is not wide. It is not heavily trafficked. And you're not seeing the kind of detritus that you'd normally find in the ditches on either side of the road. People haven't been constantly just tossing pipes aside and doing throwing their rubbish there. This is still fairly new territory that you're going into. Now, I'm no longer going to bother making any of you roll perception for this kind of thing because I could see your passive perceptions. As you're traveling, you spot a number of a fair amount of wildlife around you.
Any cassowaries?
No. There are emus. You do spot some emus. But there are no large flightless birds with sort of bony casques on their head. You do spot some dinosaurs. At one point, you see an Allosaurus.
Jesus.
In the distance, it shows no interest in you. In fact, it actually seems to be just heading towards the river for a drink, as the road you're on does start to converge with the Luan River. And about halfway through your travel, ahead of you, I think Vitericus will probably be the first to notice, there is what looks like a waypoint. It's not unlike the one near the entrance to Mercer's Pass. It is essentially a halfway point between destinations where there's no permanent settlement. But over the years, people have found this a good place to stop. So it's become sort of a clearing with, enough presence for people to approach and say, this is a good place to stop.
Like barbecue area.
So this is the kind of place where you might consider stopping if it were, if it was getting towards the end of the day. And it's not, it's the middle of the day, but you see that there are people stopped there anyway, or at least there appear to be. There are several, 3 tents set up. And at the moment, you can't make out who exactly is in them. There's nobody walking around. There are just tents.
Dagmar, do we need to stop? Do you need to stretch your legs?
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, we
Alright.
stop and have
Well,
lunch.
there's some kind of rest area up ahead, so we may as well stop, have a bite to eat. Yeah, that's a great idea. See who's here. Make new friends.
Oof.
I have like 3 friends. There's so many friends.
That is a lot, actually. It's true. Maybe we don't need new friends. All right, never mind. Bugger it. Let's just keep going.
Let's just sit in an antisocial bunch away from the new friends.
3 friends, some distance away. A sad little tiefling just feels a stab of pain in the heart.
Oh.
Best friend.
That's right. See, Connie's best friends. It's different.
Connie may very well be one of those. I'm not going to tell you who Vitericus's 3 friends are.
Anyway, so we're stopping at the barbecue area for lunch.
Okay.
Stop at the barbecue. We can stop at the Tetley Driver Reviver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get like a roadside hot
bushels. I
dog.
feel like it's bushels.
No, it was Bushels. You're right. It was Bushels Driver Reviver.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a Chico roll as well.
Oh, we can get a chicken roll and a pie.
Yo.
And food poisoning.
I was
Yeah,
just
I'm not-
about to say, take your life in your hands if you have that Chico roll.
Yeah, that's not food. That's
My dad's got one of those classic stories. He rolled badly. Actually, roll for Chico is probably pretty D&D, actually.
I guess the most Australian D&D thing there probably is.
Con save?
So,
Yeah, can't save.
as you pull over, a figure emerges from one of the tents. They're dark clad, with a cloak pulled heavily over the face, and just underneath it you can see a pair of
It's our mask friends.
sort of, you might consider them snow goggles. You know, snow. You know, the little thin.
Stunner shades.
Yeah.
Mm.
Humanoid. A bit hard to tell anything more than that from this distance, but they sort of raise a hand in greeting.
Cool. I will likewise raise a hand, and I guess in Undercommon, say, "Hail and well met, friends."
Okay. They'll turn and say something quietly to someone in the tent behind them, and then turn back and walk to you. You're about 100 feet from the tent at the moment. And as they get closer to you, you can indeed see that, yes, it is a dark elf, wearing what Vitericus will recognize as traditional dark elf apparel. So you've met multiple dark elves in the Wandering Isles before, but they've all been drow who have left the Imperium. This one is very much dressed as you would expect a soldier or an officer of the Imperium to be dressed.
I will adjust my footing a little bit then and greet them slightly more formally in a slightly more Escalgren style, I guess, rather than just, "Hey, how's it going?"
Mate.
Yeah.
As you get closer, and this figure speaks, it is a feminine voice, and she says, "'Tis unusual to hear my language spoken by one not of my blood."
She's saying that in Undercommon?
She is, yes.
Right.
Cool.
She's not heard any of you
I'll-
speak common yet, so she's no reason to.
I will respond with, I spent some time in Escalgria. Not terribly long ago, to be entirely honest. I picked it up there.
Like Bagmar's trying to make what the fuck eyes with
Yeah.
Mozart.
Mozart's definitely looking at Dags like, do you understand that? I don't understand that. Need to listen to more of it before his fish turns on.
And she says, "I've not been there in some years. I do miss it. Why did you leave?"
Oh, why does anybody come to the Wandering Isles in search of adventure and places far away from people that we need to be far away from?
She says, "Or duty to one's cause?"
Oh yeah, that too, I guess. My apologies. I have been remiss in introductions, and I will swap into common. I am Vitericus, at your service.
And she says, in common, taking the cue.
Mozart eyebrows at Dags. He used Vitericus for his name.
She says, "Zatra. Knight Commander of the Twilight Imperium.
Okay.
And she says, we know that many are uncomfortable around us. I just wish to make it clear that we are merely on an expeditionary journey here. We are resting during the day, as is our habit, and we will have no intention of interfering with your affairs if you do not interfere with ours.
Of course. As is only sensible amongst civilized folk. Have you come up from Skaldia's the Imperium outpost here in the Wandering Isles, isn't it?
Evernight.
Evernight, yes.
Yeah.
Have you come up from Evernight, or are you here independently of that outpost?
And she says, yes, we have been stationed in Evernight until quite recently.
Nice. Excellent. Well, you're welcome to join us for lunch if you'd like, but if you would prefer to rest, that is entirely understandable also.
She grins and she says, a midnight snack, then?
Yes, indeed.
She looks around and says, I see no harm. But I will not disturb the others. They are trying to sleep, you understand.
That's fair.
Morzod's picked up his cue. He is breaking out the sausages and cheese.
That's Morzod. He's a cook/paladin. I'm Aussie Lichtenbraun, family Lichtenbraun. And apparently I'm introducing everyone. This is Dagmar.
Deep Delver.
There we go.
Yeah, it's my legal name now.
That's it.
The dwarves and the drow are slightly at war, aren't they?
Well, it's complicated. Most dwarves do hate drow. The reason being that Escalgrir was a dwarven stonehold until the drow basically surged up from the Underdark, slew or enslaved all of the dwarves in Escalgrir, claimed it their new capital, basically, on the surface, and it is now the heart of the Twilight Imperium above ground. Well, Dagmar would, obviously was not in Escalgrir. There would have been a number of refugees from Escalgrir who went to Grund, and all over, refugees fled everywhere. So you certainly heard the stories. And
Dad probably would have been real racist about it.
And it's it is the default for dwarves to hate and distrust drow. Imagine
good solid grudge.
I mean, imagine Britain, early 40s, and you meet a German.
Right. Yeah.
It's most Brits would have concerns in that interaction.
Dagmar is going to be standoffish, but not mean.
And she is. Give me an insight check, please, Dagmar.
First roll of the day.
How nice. Insight.
Did you pick up those creepy dice for Halloween?
I got a natural 1 in insight, but that does also turn it into a 14.
Okay.
But probably a natural 1.
Beneath the,
if we're going by the rule.
Beneath the hood and the goggles, very hard to tell what's going through her mind. You think she sort of looks at you a few times, but there's no sense of whether she expects any trouble from you.
Not read her poker
But
face.
she is quick to engage in conversation, especially with you, Vitericus, but is happy to speak to any of you. She basically just wants your story. What are you doing? Where are you from? Where are you going?
How pleasant.
That's fair. Well, we'll give her the spark notes. Maybe not the "we've just killed a god" elements of the story.
Leave
But
that out.
certainly we're from Providence. Similarly to you, I guess, we're pushing out from our city on a exploratory sort of mission. Tracking down. Have you seen any of this red weed around the place?
Or a rat.
Knight Commander.
With a collar.
Rat with a collar, but it'll be following the red weed.
And she says, the bloodweed, we call it?
Blood.
That's the one.
That's the
That's,
one.
that's the one.
That's fairly
Name's
apt.
catching on. Eh?
I have seen it about. We have been advised to avoid it.
Oh, yep, that's good advice.
Yeah.
Yes, we're tracking it.
Kind of.
Ah, you think you know where it comes from?
We're
Well,
unsure. We're chasing down leads.
We're trying to find out, really.
Just kind of
Yeah.
where we're at. But how about you? What brings you so far out from Evernight?
Yeah, strange area for you lot to be. Sorry.
And she says, "What do you mean above ground?"
No, I just meant this side of Providence. It's kind of the only thing out here is more high elves and red weed and spiders.
1 Minotaur.
Oh, yeah, I hope we run into him again. He was fun.
And
Yeah, I liked him.
she says, "We are on a fact-finding mission."
Oh, sort of similar thing.
Details are, I would not go so far as to say classified, but it is not my habit to discuss military operations, you understand.
Of course. We've been around this area a little bit, though, so if you have any specific questions, let us know.
We could tell you what to avoid at the very least.
It's pretty much everything.
What can you tell us about, I believe it is called Mercer's Pass?
Funny. She's
What
also
about it?
Yep.
About it
That's the one.
specific-
Uh, we have been told to avoid it at all costs, which we have chosen to do for the time being. But it would be nice to know whether we could traverse it in the future. It is a faster, a shorter path, east and west. Should the Imperium wish to continue open trade routes this way?
True, it is much faster.
Oswald just sort of glances across at Vidi for this one.
Well, we just went through Mercer's Pass for much the same reason. It's shorter, it's faster, yada yada yada, and we lost about half our traveling companions.
Pretty bad.
It is a very dangerous road to walk.
When you say
I heard.
when you say
Okay, well-
lost, did they disappear or
Oh, we didn't.
No, they
misplace
were straight up killed.
They died pretty.
They are
Pretty
buried next to your favorite
brutally.
dwarf.
Oh, I am most sorry to hear this.
Yes.
It happens. I also heard that is it the Oceanic Trading Company? Was that them? Was that it? Was it the
in the
Oceanic
area
Trading
for the
Company?
pause.
Is that
I
the
think
one? I heard
so.
that they. I think so. I heard they were planning to maybe start taxing the area or something like that, tolling. Putting
Yeah,
Getting
charging people
to get through
to
there.
go through.
She says they wish to charge people to walk to their death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it-
They'd like to think they've made it safe.
It's an interesting business plans they have.
Hmm.
I think there's
Business,
like a
huh?
kink for that.
Oh, if you're into things eating you, yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's not
Oh, please.
mainstream, but we can't judge people for it.
We can talk about Vor later, right?
Let's see, what else would she like to know about? Oh, she would definitely like to hear about anything you know about the royal family in Tal Ras. She says, I've heard talk of vampirism. And
Yes.
Like, crazy, right? A
We
rumor.
heard the same rumors.
I saw like a play about it, I think. I think they've turned it into a musical.
I heard the entire, all of that area is covered in mist and bats now.
She says,
Mm.
"Oh,
Probably alright if you don't like the sun.
I've heard so many stories. It is hard to tell which is true or not. But the fact that vampirism appears in every one of these stories suggests that there must be some truth to it, no?"
One would think. See, that's funny because I'd heard that the vampirism had been somehow cured and that there was no longer any mist or bats over at Heron's Perch.
Oh, is
but
that,
might
is,
just
is
be
that
me.
what you've heard? Right.
Yeah.
I don't
Indeed.
know what order it all goes in.
An intrepid band of adventurers saved the princess from living
Wasn't
on
that in
death.
one of your books, Dags?
I heard.
Yeah, it's quite similar, but I think honestly it was a ripoff.
Oh,
You know.
Oh, of your books? Oh,
Yeah, like people
Maybe it's
read the book
marketing
and then they were
campaign.
like changing
Right.
the details slightly to make it sound like their own, and
Yeah, kind of reskinned it to sell a new story, some sort of.
Yeah,
shit-
like
it's
those really
vampire or
shitty
something.
bards that can't
Yeah.
be bothered making up something.
I heard that the god of truth and justice himself came down and like blasted the whole area with sunlight. But I also heard it's still covered in bats and mist, so who knows?
And
I haven't been recently, I wouldn't know.
and she says, "My understanding is that the god of truth and light has fled this world."
That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
More rumors. Oh, I do love the rumor mill.
Wild.
But you understand, this information comes from our people have worshipped different gods, you understand.
oh yeah, to each his own, one of those things.
Yeah, like the real slavey ones.
If you ever want to know about brewing lark, I can tell you lots of things.
And she says, "Oh, some of our people do indeed worship the god of the bright moon."
Oh, you guys like a bit of wine? It's all good.
Certainly gets around, doesn't he?
Oh look, everyone's entitled to a good time.
And so lunch will go on. You can continue having just sort of, casual, friendly chat.
Yep.
After a bit, someone else will come out of the tent, another drow, and she will say, "Coming to the end of my watch, I should go and get some sleep.
Yes.
Thank you for your company. It has been good to meet you."
Yeah, likewise.
I will farewell her in Undercommon. A pleasure, Knight Commander.
And she responds in the same and gives a what is basically a dark elf salute and walks off.
Hmm.
And
Good
she meets up with the other dark elf and they have a short conversation, and she goes inside the tent and he then just stands outside the tent and watches you all intently.
Well,
Alright.
Well, I
I'm
guess
all
that's lunch over.
I was gonna say I'm all proper fed. You like?
Got your bushels,
How'd you
got your
feel?
cuppa. We should probably head
I
off.
can take my cuppa to go.
Everyone been to the bathroom?
You mean that bush over there? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's push on. Let me look on the map.
Okay,
Oops.
you get back on the Titan, make your way off. You leave the Imperium scouting party behind. And as you proceed, the road continues to follow the river. Further and further west, you see more wildlife. You see very few people, and when you do see people, it is basically just the occasional. Looks like the occasional trade caravan moving. You're not seeing individual wanderers or local families going for a stroll. This area is largely unsettled or uninhabited.
Yeah. Is there any particular reason we was being real weird about stuff? Talking to them lot?
I don't know.
Vidi was, so I was.
I mean,
I was-
I was
I just like spreading rumors.
That's fair.
Yeah, Aussie lives for the drama, and I mean, ultimately, I guess we're not particularly affiliated with the Imperium, so we don't have to give them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, I'm gonna say.
I just think it's weird that they're out here, right? What are they doing out here? There are people who are out here, high elves and spiders.
That was
I
my
did
question
wanna-
also.
I did want to ask what facts they was finding, but it was pretty clear that she didn't want to tell us.
Yeah, right.
Can
I mean, I got shifty vibes, but I don't know if that's a personal bias.
Can't help but wonder if they were after some Titan bone, but
Titan bone? Do you think it could be something to do with kind with cell floating? I mean, who
Well, yeah,
knows
we
about-
didn't really know what direction they was going in, did we?
no, that's true, I guess.
I mean,
But they were
did
asking about Mercer's
say-
past, so
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you heard
true.
that it was a wild place, though, I mean, you would ask.
Dungeon Master. Have we noticed like more bloodweed as we're going on, or like not really any difference?
At this point, no, you have not.
Okay.
So we haven't. Have we seen any?
Just trying to figure out if they're coming or going.
With your various perceptions, yes, you have spotted the occasional patch.
Right.
I don't
But-
know if they're coming or going.
But it's not turning into a Martian landscape.
Delightful.
that's
I
all
don't
right.
like
If they're
that you made
coming,
that as a pointer. It makes me feel like we're going to find a Martian landscape later. Again. Okay.
they'll either catch up to us or we'll catch up to them when we go back, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alright, we can kick that can down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I put a pin in it, but yeah, it's weird.
So your journey continues. The sun starts to get low on the horizon. The air becomes colder. You start rugging up against it as the wind from the movement of the Titan is starting to bite into your faces. But eventually you see small columns of chimney smoke ahead of you, and basically a milestone saying Parada ahead. And eventually you come to this small, could barely even call it a town. It's basically a hamlet or small village. This is not my map, by the way. This is another 2-minute tabletop map.
Has it got a pub? Because that does define it as a town.
According to whom?
Morzod.
Morzod.
Okay. Well,
Easy answer.
The authority. That's who.
as you approach, you see that there's no town wall or anything like that. There's just a single, looks like a single watchtower. And you are not challenged by anyone. You're not seeing any guards. But Morzod, your instinct immediately tells you that there is one place in all of Parada where you can drink. It is also the one place in all of Parada where you can sleep, because it is a small town, population maybe only 60 or 70. And it is a multi-story building with a sign outside saying Freyl Hall. But it's Freyl spelled Freyl.
Freyl Hall. I just love the image of us rolling up into these tiny towns and like the Titan,
Yeah,
Painted
in
with
our red
flame.
Lambo.
Yep.
like dripping with like fur capes and just standing on the
Mhm.
hull.
Stunner shades.
You certainly
It's great.
turn some heads as you glide
Love
into
forest.
town.
Let's circle now.
Very nice.
All right. Morzod.
Yeah. Look, I think if you head down that way, there's somewhere we can stop.
It's like a centaur. It's incredible.
Truly amazing.
And look, it's just one of those things. It's probably a brewing luck thing.
You
So
should go around to all the towns and stuff in Providence and make some sort of book.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Like some sort of
Yeah.
guidebook for pubs, public
So-
houses or something.
I like to imagine you basically put Morzod at the front of,
yeah.
like a
It's-
bowsprit, just leaning forward.
No.
It's the Irish pointer. It's the
And I mean, he would be sniffing because, like, if you remember, his detect magic is scent based as well. So
one little paw in the air.
detect pub.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So you come to Freyl Hall. You notice that there don't really appear to be any stables in town, but there are hitching posts.
We can hitch the type to a post, I suppose.
So he don't wander off.
I have to learn some sort of magic lock spell. I really do. I can do it later.
Oh, this is that sort of thing hard to do.
Not really. I mean, lock spells exist. I just don't know how I'd use it in context of this.
Well, what if you made the thing what Dag steers it by just not go anywhere?
We could put a stick to the steering wheel, or take the steering wheel with us.
All
I was
that.
like, yeah, can we take the steering wheel, DM?
It's more a series of levers, but you could try to disassemble it.
I think that's a bad
that
idea.
seems-
Leaving your bike out
Oh.
in Melbourne if you don't chain it up. Someone's gonna nick it. Nah, I can leave Glow out here. I don't want to leave Glow out here. I don't know. I
That'll
think
be
we
fine.
Can we just leave a note
I think we
saying,
could.
if you steal this, we will hunt you down and take your thumbs?
Yes, do that. That's very specific, Dagmar.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Dagmar is gonna scroll and rip a piece of paper out of her notebook and scroll that and put it on the not on the lever, on the seat, because she doesn't want to like specifically point out how to start the Titan.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Idea. Perfect.
And with that, the Titan gets a passive intimidation roll of plus 10. So you're heading into Freyl Hall.
Yes, please.
Yes.
You go through the door, and it looks like it is a combination of local tavern where everybody gathers at the end of the day to have a bite to eat, and a inn for travellers. As you step through the door, you are greeted by a kobold, who
Yay!
Yay.
some of you recognise.
One of the guys.
This is Winkle, one of the
Winkle!
one of the all kobold adventuring party that went through Mercer's
Yay.
Pass much earlier.
He's settled.
And they say, hello, welcome to Freyl Hall. Please, come in. Food, drink, bed, sleep. What want?
Of the above, please.
Is that you, Winkle?
And Winkle says, yes, it's you. I know you.
Yeah. I remember you. Adventure.
You went into Mercer's Pass as we came out.
Is
Yeah.
he one of the ones that
guys-
we tricked with tails?
Yeah.
Yes.
You murdered a bunch of Chaos Stallions when we couldn't.
They got one.
That's
Okay.
That
I
was
mean-
significant back then.
it was kind of a
Nearly
big deal.
8 years.
We hid in a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit and roll and we ran.
And Winkle says, Winkle hear stories. You're heroes. You fight. You heroes of big city down south.
Yeah, Providence, that's the one.
The one.
Boss, want to meet you. I'll get Mr. Freyl. And he dashes off.
Oh, I just love him.
Love that he found a permanent position.
Got employment. He's such a good boy.
He's a retired adventurer.
Oh, he's probably going to live for like 3 more years. So
As you look around, you see that there are some other patrons sitting at the tables, probably a bit early for dinner, but maybe getting a good position. There's a what looks like an elderly dwarf, and there are two women, female wood elves, who both are sitting at a table and just exchanging it's sort of pleasant banter and gossip while knitting.
Nice.
Grandma
Classic
energy.
Stitch and Bitch.
Oh yeah.
We love it.
There you go.
After a moment, Winkle comes back out and he's followed by this very tall half-elf male who's fairly neatly dressed, but kind of balding with a big, thick moustache. And he says, adventurers! Excellent! Excellent! Go on, get out! And Winkle scarpers back into the room, the back rooms, and he says, "Welcome to Freyl Hall. What a pleasure it is to have visitors of your caliber visiting us here at Freyl Hall. I am the owner, of course. I am Bazir Freyl. Welcome." What can I get you? Would you like food? Would you like a drink? Somewhere to stay? Of course, you're looking for somewhere to stay, aren't you? You're traveling.
Well, definitely have some of the local if you got it.
He says, marvelous. Sybil? My wife will be here soon. And he says, well, so, 4 of you then, how many rooms would you like?
Oh, one's fine.
Yeah.
He says, we don't have any rooms with 4 beds, I'm afraid.
That's
Oh, no,
fine. We
that's
sleep
all
very
right.
cozy. Yeah.
Oh,
We have a situation.
oh, I see. Very well.
This is great.
It's a magic thing, isn't it? Of course it is. You
could call it magic, yeah. It's definitely
One way
something
of
like
putting it.
that.
you go to another plane of existence. You just need somewhere to set up your magical portal. Correct? Yes.
What the hell? What are you, some kind of wizard?
If that's how you want to think of it, sure.
What do you know about this sort of magic?
Mozart picking up on Dags's entendres. Yeah, I've been told that there's another plane of existence involved. Yeah, hey.
It's very hard to reach.
Oh well, if you know what he's doing.
And he says, we will get your room ready. Why don't you take a seat? Any table. If and he looks at the patrons, look, if they're in your way, just let me know. I'll have them move. And they're fine. They're always here. What would you like to eat?
Can I do an insight check real quick?
Sure.
It's wigging me out, man.
Yeah.
As just an enormous fucking nerd.
It was 7. I don't know. But
Just a really big fan.
I don't know.
Of
He's got like
adventurers.
he's got a crumb in his moustache. He can't stop looking at it.
He's very
It's got a mole.
He's very eager, very enthusiastic. You can tell that. But
Yeah.
why is another question.
Yeah. He's gonna steal our shit. I don't trust him.
Clearly
If he
avid
does,
subscriber to
we will
Adventure
take
Well,
his
Well,
promise.
we just kept saying that everyone was a vampire until someone was, so that's worked right. That's worked us before. Right. Are we eating here? What are we doing?
Well, we might as well
It's
have a bite to eat. Eh?
should eat, yeah.
What time is it, DM?
It's not quite sunset, but it will be soon. So the sun is quite low on the horizon. It's a little
Because I didn't
early
remind
for
you.
it's a little early for dinner, but you get the impression that he would very happily open the kitchen for you.
I would
Well, I
remind
mean,
you
we
that my thing lasts 24 hours. I can go for a whole day.
I mean, we can have a late smoker while settle in.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit near those grandma elves.
Yeah, I
Are they
suppose.
actually-
How do you
actually
place the age of
grandmas?
a wood elf? I didn't. There was no description that said they were grandmas.
It is very hard to tell. Wood
They're
elves.
partaking in a grandma activity, which we fully support.
Hey,
It's
not
just
just
grandma
grandmas.
It's grandma
Well, no,
energy.
I say this
Anyone can do it.
fondly.
Yeah.
All of my embroidery is my grandma shit.
Yo, the hipsters. It's become.
Grandma energy. It's just a vibe. It's just
It's
a vibe.
become trendy with the hipsters.
Mhm.
I don't even
so
think
it's
Aussie can tell when it
not
comes
just
to elves,
grandmas.
because there's like that period where they could be like anywhere from 20 years old to like 600 years old. You'd
Yeah.
never know.
That
Basically-
kind of Asian mum thing where they're in their
Yeah, and
beautiful
then they
prime
hit-
until suddenly they are ancient.
By
They
the
hit 6:30 and then it's just grandma.
by the
Yeah.
time once an elf starts to look old, they are ancient. They are like a few years away from death. That is typically how it works.
Mm,
And so they could be many, many centuries old and still look not much older than Aussie.
In their prime.
Their behavior suggests that they are not necessarily not in their prime, but they are relaxed. They have a slow attitude to life.
Had time to learn some chill.
Yeah. And if you do sit near them, one of them will say, "Oh, hello, dearies. Welcome to Parada."
Yes. Hi.
Lovely to be here.
What brings you here?
Just passing
We're
through.
just passing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passing through.
Hey. On
We're heading for elsewhere.
our way up the road, but it was a good place to stop. Looks very nice around here. You locals?
He says, "Oh, yes, yes. We retired here many years ago.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It's
Good place, good place to settle.
very pleasant place. We bought a little farm on the outside of town, and we don't do very much work, I'm afraid, but we like to come here and eat at the end of the day."
Hey,
That sounds perfect.
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
The lad what owns the place, he seems to have a shine for adventurers.
He seems real twitchy.
"Oh, Mr. Freyl, oh, he's just like that."
It's fair.
Mhm.
I mean, I suppose if you want good stories, then yeah, adventurers is where he's at, I suppose.
As you say
Stories
that,
and money. Stories and gold.
he comes back in and he comes back in with a halfling female by his side, who's brown hair, sort of up in a bun, and as they come in, she is saying, "Look, if they only want one room, then we can just give them one room." And he's sort of trying to say, "But it's like there's four of them, and they do not." And she says, "Look, it'll be fine. Look, I'll go and talk to them." And this you're sort of overhearing this. You're obviously not meant to be hearing this conversation. And he says, "But look, just don't be one of them as an orc. Just don't mention the crusade. You'll be fine." And she says, and walks up to the four of you and says, "Hello, welcome to Freyl Hall. I'm sorry for my husband. He's always like this. So I understand you're looking for just the one room. Is that right?"
Yes, please.
Excellent. We can take care of that. Have that set up for you. And Winkle will be out soon with your food. We do have someone who will be serving tables, but she doesn't arrive until just before dinner time. So you are happy to wait another hour or so for food?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes. Shall we do drinks? Shall I get first round?
And as she says that, Mr. Freyl says, "Oh, we can feed you now if you want. We can start cooking now."
He's got all afternoon, right?
Fine.
We're not
says-
like in a hurry.
"See, they're fine. Very well. Please make yourself comfortable.
Fair enough. Yes. Cool. Drinks, what do we want?
Wait, so
Mead.
I'll try the local. Whatever they've got is good.
Do they have wine? I could do a blush.
I did not think of what the local would be. Throw
Did
some
you have
ideas
a
at
table
me.
for that? Didn't you have a table for that when we were at Glen the
Somewhere.
first time?
If I do have a table, I don't know where it ended up.
Ah,
Give him a little.
I feel
Give him a
sure
little
you-
lager.
Yeah.
Lemon squash? Some kind of lemon squash?
What's in
Sure.
the area? We got.
Yeah.
we got
What kind of
spiders
things do
and
they
elves.
grow? What's the
Spiders,
farm?
elves, and
It's mostly orchards around here.
Orchards, so brandies and stuff.
and wheat because it's a good winter crop.
Hmm.
Wheat again.
So the orchards would be apples.
Ooh, cider.
Yeah,
nice item.
there'd be more cider here, certainly.
Local cider. That's
We're
it.
in cider country.
Oh yeah.
I want a blush.
So, cider, mead. What were you getting, Aussie?
I want a blush. I want like a mix.
We'll get a blush for Aussie and a scotch and water, please.
Okay. Doug's recognised the reference.
Whatever.
I've been
Oh,
having
that's
so
not
much fun with this the whole time. It's great.
So she takes your orders, very happy to go and get your drinks. And I think this is a good place to take a short break as your characters all get comfortable in Freyl Hall. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we are back after what became an extended break because we got distracted by talking about celebrity recasting in various television shows.
I could talk about that for legit 3 hours. Just
But
so
of
you know.
course, no time has passed for you because I edit all that stuff out. Welcome back. Our heroes have basically settled into Fantasy 40 Towers. And waiting for their meal. And look, I'll be honest, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to have lots of crazy hijinks ensue? But then I'd just be copying a 40 Towers script, and I couldn't expect you all to stay on script, especially since I think only one of you has actually seen 40 Towers.
Dino, I just
don't
don't
like that.
remember it.
But I mean, I'm very happy to fast forward until you have had your meal and set up the palace to retreat into.
Palace.
Do you think the guy in charge is like uncomfortably imagining us all in a big adventure pile?
Oh, he is. Yeah, I think he is imagining. He is assuming that it is going to be a devil worshipping sex party in that room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. I mean, if you ask nicely, Morzod can take you to another plane of existence, but that would be a bit weird with the current company, I feel.
Okay.
Anyway,
So you are eventually you have a reasonable meal. It is by no means a feast. It is palatable. It is okay.
how long do our knitting friends stick around for?
They stay until they've finished eating, and then they politely excuse themselves and return to their orchard.
Before they go, while we're all hanging out, because I imagine that we would still have more conversation because they seemed quite chatty and pleasant.
Yep.
I shall just roll gently for any plot hooks.
They will basically, it's all just town gossip, lots of little
Okay.
things that are going on. They will at one point express concern about this death cult that they've heard about, that they
Yes, it's reached this
that the
far.
young people are getting into these days.
Shit, I
Interesting.
forgot about the death cult.
And they'll say, they will say they're pretty sure that young Niwen from the other side of town, they've definitely seen them sneaking out at night. That's probably, probably to go and, worship the goddess of death. They're certain.
Well, they've got a girlfriend. Or the goddess of death is their girlfriend.
Oh, honestly. It's probably like 80-year-old elf or something.
Probably an 80-year-old woman. I mean, that's who they consider young, right?
Yeah. No matter whether it's an elf or not, 80 years.
Oh yeah, you're all basically toddlers to them.
Yeah.
Baby children.
Gosh, you two are practically middle-aged.
Oh, 1 foot in the grave, these guys. Seriously.
He's
Lovingly.
talking about that again.
Lovingly. I'm going to miss you is what I'm saying.
We just really want you to enjoy your brief mortal lives. I mean,
It's true.
we're all mortal, but yeah.
So
Orsi,
short.
do you want me to become a lich?
A little bit.
Yeah, can there be nice liches?
Yes, I've said before.
Yes, but I wouldn't be one.
Oh.
I would be the one that the adventurers then have to go and kill.
But like,
What if I was a good lich and you was a scallywag and we just sort of lived together?
Oh, hijinks.
you could like
Hijinks.
guard a set of 2 doors, and it could be like one of us is evil and one of us is good, and one of us only lies and one of us only tells the truth, and you can
That
ask us
would
one
be-
question.
A really easy thing to guess.
Yeah. Fun,
I mean,
though.
why would you even?
Well, you
Or
could
you
guard
can
mess around
Orsi's
with that?
basement door
Exactly.
to my
Your
room,
room.
and
Your-
then like one door leads to like outside and a plummet.
No, I don't
And the
know.
other
Yeah,
one
I was gonna
always
say, I
me.
don't know. Does it need that much guarding if Orsi's made his flying castle?
I don't know. I just want you guys to be employed forever.
We've got
Like
like
near
another,
us.
like 700 years left in us. Like, it's gonna be learning about, guys. I'm just saying.
Right. So liches then.
Yeah, apparently.
And then,
okay, well,
Okay.
and
there you
then
go.
when I die, I can join you because like
But Connie told me not to be evil, so we've really got to find a nice way to be a lich.
Yeah, the whole process can be a little rough. I don't really know too much about the process of being a benevolent lead.
Yeah, I mean, you did say that, like, what the actual thing for turning into lich is not so good.
This is starting to sound like a lot more work that I'm willing to put into hanging out with you guys forever. I think I might just
back
die.
on it.
You know,
We really should have used those genie wishes for like
it's
extending your lifespans.
Well,
Well, I mean, it did extend my lifespan because it wasn't
Yeah,
going to go too well if
considerably.
I mean, it circles back to one of the main issues at hand here, right? Is that the spirits remain in the material plane. So even if you do die, you're still going to hang around unless you sort that out. So
I suppose we could just haunt you
Sure.
real.
Good point. I'll just haunt my Taraka deck. As long as you've got that, I'll be around.
Oh, I'll keep that. Isn't that the one I engraved? Oh wait, no, I engraved your playing cards.
You gave me a death card.
Oh, you made that real fancy card. I remember it was
Yeah,
nice.
I'll take that back when you die.
Perfect. I'll
Just
make
want
sure
that
I
one.
haunt it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm so glad to figured out your eternal rest.
Now we just need
Perfect.
Morzod. Oh, Morzod, you can haunt your flagon.
I was just thinking about that. If I was gonna haunt something, what would be haunting? But I suppose a haunted flagon wouldn't be too bad, eh?
That's a great
Yeah.
name for an inn, the Haunted Flagon.
Actually, it would be, wouldn't it?
That's quite
You could start an inn for ghosts once
Ghosts.
you're a ghost.
run
wonder
by
if-
ghosts.
I wonder if that would be a thing. Vinny,
Tend to
Yeah.
lust.
do you know if the shades, like, if they drink anything, if they got like shade beer?
Feel like I'd have to run a séance in order to figure that out. I mean, we can
Next
do
time-
that. I can
next
sit
time we
here
do-
and
Next time we do one of them, we should put that on the list of things to ask. Do you not have beer?
Yeah, I really think you
mean-
two should look into this as a project for your near sort of future.
Stop. The inn serves spirits. Get it?
I'll get that one. I like that. Actually, I do like that. Actually, that's probably the answer if they got beer. Probably not, but I bet they got spirits.
Spirits. We don't have beer, but we've got spirits. That's the slogan. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it is pretty good, eh?
Yep, I like that.
love
The
this.
dungeons
Hmm.
leave us for a portion, and we still keep going.
So, throughout this conversation and throughout this evening, you've, with your passive perceptions, you have definitely spotted Mr. Freyl, watching you through a slightly open door, suspiciously, trying to learn your dark secrets and what your true purpose for Parada is.
Oh,
my
clearly
God,
he's
and we're
found
talking
out that
about
we're liches.
Yeah.
Aspiring
be-
lich.
We want to be liches, yeah. But nice liches with spirits.
Hmm.
Right. So shall we
And then we could join those old ladies and we could have a lich and stitch and bitch.
Hang on, I'm writing that down. I gotta draw that at some point. Lich and stitch and bitch.
This is
I
this is
need
the
to
fate of
add this to
Parada.
a-
It'll just be us
Yeah.
Cozy
sitting at the end of the bar,
Yeah.
knitting the whole time.
I'm
I'm just gonna start a whole new note for that. It's just gonna be a note that says lich and stitch and bitch.
Wow, every girl is just like writing this down right now.
Yeah.
Literally my life plan.
So,
Good. Put it in the Discord notes. Perfect.
Yeah, there it is. Now we've all got it.
I assume you eventually retire to Orsi's palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon as we get
Where
in,
I'm
I
guessing
conjure a
this
bag of snacks.
conversation goes for like the next 4 hours.
We're talking about liches for a long time. It's very suspicious. And then we all go into one, like clowns getting into a car. We all all three. With one closet.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And if any of you were to peek your head out through the night, you would notice multiple times Mr. Freyl listening at the door, maybe even at one point climbing up outside, putting a ladder to the side of the house, climbing up to peer through the window,
Peeking
trying
through
to
it.
see what
We're not there.
nefarious deeds are you up to.
Yo, would we have like stuffed pillows under blankets just to troll him?
Oh, fun.
Undoubtedly.
You should,
Like, just
we should cast like that illusion you have.
Oh,
Vidi.
Major Spectacle. Yes, I will.
Don't
cast.
you have to
no,
be there
I've got
for
to.
it?
Yeah, and it only runs for 10 minutes, so I've got to know where he is.
That's no good.
No lurid pornographic illusions.
Oh my god, no, that would be terrible because then you'd have to contemplate how to depict the four of us.
That's true.
And that would be gross. That would be like real person fan fiction, and I'm not here for that.
Oh no, me neither. Very anti.
Yeah, just not.
Anyway,
Just make a sheet move over 4 indistinct.
Leave the door to the mansion open a tiny bit, and if he gets curious, he can come in. But if not, it's fine.
Oh my god, can you
Office
imagine?
there. The office there.
Then you'll find us all in the bathhouse eating in the pool.
Being fed by like naked marble elves.
Which is probably as salacious as he was imagining it, I mean.
actually, I'd like to say that yes, at one point, you're all reclining and relaxing, and then he just bursts in and goes, "Aha! Sorry,
Hello.
wrong door," and just leaves.
Perfect.
It'd just be that freeze moment, and the tray with the tea on it just sort of drifts past as everyone freezes and watches. Oh man, the Mind
Nice
Palace
lad.
is so good.
So
It's great. I love it.
you've had a relaxing evening followed by a relaxing night's sleep. Unless there's anything you want to accomplish, you can have your long rest and wake up the next morning.
Yeah, all good. Did I
Yes.
click it after last time? I feel like I did, but
I think I told you to.
click it again anyway.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
What spells do we want?
Reset
today?
your spells.
Oh my stars! Oh,
Everybody's long resting.
right.
Prepare
Use
an
Ate
cookies.
so much
Okay,
potato for
I
lunch.
agree. Oh man, I've got to. I suppose what I should do if we are doing a long rest is swap out for the Paladin Mount spell, because I feel like I should have that in my list.
Grab bless too if you have that.
I think I already had that prepped.
Good. Bless is a good one.
Let me see.
Okay, I'm good.
I don't know. I'll put it in there though.
Okay.
Yeah, some other time.
Alright,
I'm not going to fiddle with it now.
Headed
break
to
something.
Cape Town specifically, or where are we headed?
That's our next stop, right?
Dags wants to leave a gold piece as a tip for Winkle
Winko,
Let's go for
on
Winkle.
the way out.
Winkle is delighted.
Yes. God, you can just
And she will
imagine.
loudly say in earshot of his boss what wonderful service he provides and that she is very, very glad that he's found somewhere where his talents can shine extra bright.
Oh,
Yes, you think
man, we
he's...
really got a thing for kobolds. Good grief.
Yeah.
Just love him.
They're so good.
You think his scales have taken on an extra shine after that.
No, buddy.
So
Beauty.
good for it.
Alrighty. Onward then.
Okay, it is another crisp winter morning as you follow...
Titan where we left it.
It is,
Yeah.
We don't have
except
to
Like,
take
do I
anyone's
need to track
thumbs?
someone down?
except under your, at the bottom of your note, somebody else has added "okay."
You see?
I like
it
that.
worked.
Someone's got sass.
So you follow what is now called Stone Road, which is a bit stonier than the West Road that you came on, and you think this might be
Okay.
why it's called the Stone Road.
Descriptive.
Continuing to follow the Luan River, it is another crisp winter morning, but still sunny, still clear skies. With your various perceptions, you see more dinosaurs. This is turning into a
Ooh.
dinosaur biome for all intents and purposes out here.
Yo.
Yes.
Nice.
Um,
See dinosaurs with them wiggly little arms.
Do
Or is
we
that-
see any that look like the
Or is that the wrong era?
Deinonychus on the... Is that a Deinonychus?
that's a velociraptor.
Oh, bless.
I mean, it's very rough, and I drew it years ago, and it's not great. But
No, it's adorable.
Are we going to have
I
an
love it.
art depreciating fight here? Am I going to have to pull out my art teacher on you?
It's
Don't make me.
clearly
If
gorgeous.
you say your art's not good, I fight you.
yes, you do see some velociraptors running around. You will see probably a Deinonychus at one point. You do see a few herds of hadrosaurs, Metabarosauruses, various iguanodonts.
You'll love this for us.
At some point after our first couple of sightings, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals. And I'm just occasionally going to call out, "Good morning!" to all of them and see what they do.
And do we hear, like, you say, "Rawr," or is it...
No,
They just
my
understand you.
thinking is that because I've thought this through, how this spell could work, because Speak with Animals lets you be understood by any animal rather than, so you can speak to a group of different animals and be understood by all.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can suddenly make the sounds of a monkey. It means I'm thinking some kind of psychic telepathic link so that you speak and they understand the meaning and vice versa.
Translatory vibrations.
Yeah, it's like a babelfish.
Well, that's a dead giveaway, isn't it?
And so you, as you proclaim good morning to various dinosaurs on your journey, many of them do look at you and basically
Jesus
respond.
Christ, Barry, that human just spoke.
And you get responses that go along the lines of, "It is indeed morning," to, "You are a very strange looking dinosaur."
Cool. Anyone
What
that
do you
doesn't
mean by
immediately
good morning?
yeah, do you mean it's a morning to be good on? Or,
I need to learn that thing because the amount of times that I've kind of gone halfway into it and realized
Yeah.
that I don't know it.
any of them that don't like run away or that engage, I'm going to say, by the way, you haven't happened to have seen a small family of cassowaries kicking around, have you?
The response will be, what's a cassowary?
Yeah, the fuck's a cassowary?
Good point. I'll describe one. I've only got Trevor as a point of reference, so I'll describe Trevor.
And they'll say, we call them emus. Well, whatever the dinosaur word.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah,
emu
like
is.
that, but head crest.
Meaner.
And
Shorter.
Bluer.
I don't know if
colours.
they
Punchy.
Colours.
Mad.
you
Colours.
get the dinosaur body language, which symbolizes utter confusion.
Okay, well, this has been fun. Thank you, team. And we will sail on.
It's kind of nice though, just saying good day to the local dinosaur.
local
That's a nice mental image.
And can you speak to plants for pterygons?
Not at the moment, but maybe if we do a seance at some point.
It's just, I just think.
Yeah, if you're trying to talk to a chair, is that speak with plants or speak with dead?
Actually, I take it back. I don't want to speak
It's-
to plants. I eat plants. It's gonna get weird.
Neither.
Let's say, isn't that a druidy thing? That sounds like a druid
A
thing.
chair is an
Oh,
inanimate
pterygons can do all
object.
sorts of nonsense.
But it's made from trees.
Yeah, but we are also made from the creatures we consume. You can't speak to animals to speak to a humanoid.
Is it
I mean,
still
I
the
bet you
chair of
could.
Theseus?
We're all made of star stuff. This is gonna get eldritch.
Anyway, so no cassowaries on the radar.
Do we see like floating K-Withel from here?
Yeah,
You
how far would that be
do.
visible
Doesn't
from?
As you approach, in fact, as you're a good few miles away from Kaiwafel, you do become aware of a floating island in the
Ooh,
sky with
That's it.
diamonds.
certainly with those of you with very high passive perception will see that there are buildings atop this island, sort of gleaming white, probably Elven architecture. It's a very Art Nouveau, very classic. I mean, if you've watched Rings of Power, you know what I'm talking about.
I have not.
And Doug is just dealing with
I
a
also
dog
haven't,
issue.
but- Yeah, I also
Dog
haven't seen
error.
what you're talking about.
But he just got so excited by the thought of Numenor, he had to leave.
Needed a moment.
Yeah, but so as you get close, you can see that there's this large floating island beside this huge lake. This lake, which is but
Big.
25 miles across.
It's a big lake.
Yeah,
It's a big
it's
How big's
roughly.
Lake Burley Griffin? Damn.
I don't actually know how big it's. I based it on Lake Taupo in the North Island.
Yes,
of
I
New
love that
Zealand.
lake.
Yeah.
Lake
The
Burley
very
Griffin.
solid lake.
Area 6.64 kilometers squared. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
11 kilometers long.
It's small enough that from one end you can see the mountains on the far side, but large enough that when you're in there, it almost feels like you're on the ocean when you're in the middle of it.
And like a baby Great Lake.
And it is quite a beautiful sight as you're approaching, because you've got snow-capped mountains in the south, and there is a lot of snow on these mountains because it's the middle of winter. And you've got to the north and to the on the far side of the lake, you have forests and green rolling hills, and the whole region around you at the moment is green rolling hills. This part, I think, Central Otago in Southern Ireland, New Zealand. It's very
Ooh.
pretty.
All right.
Mm.
And yeah, so the floating island. Look, I'll get. Oh, what's it going to be? I will get active perception checks from anyone who is interested in the island.
I'll definitely be looking at it.
I don't know why I asked Glow to
His
do my
percepti isn't
18.
usually very good, but we'll see what we've got.
Well, I rolled a 1. Also
Yeah,
doesn't-
he's got no idea. He's just looking at how
He's-
pretty it is. That's a 10.
pretending to not care about the big elf architecture.
He's
Yeah.
playing it cool with a floating island. I don't know where it is. Dagmar's
That sure is
perception.
towers on a rock. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy.
Dagmar rolled a 28.
Oh, you are
wow.
perceiving.
It's a 19 plus a
Yeah.
9. Very impressive. Okay.
She sees good.
You can see forever. Did you put your goggles back on?
No, she left them on the Vitaricus statue back at home.
So,
She no longer needs the advantage.
Dagmar, as you are not watching the road ahead of you,
Oh no.
She
distracted,
glanced up.
distracted by the island, you catch a glimpse of something in the air near the island, and it's only for a few moments before it sort of seems to go behind it or into it or in that general direction disappears. You think you saw a large winged creature of some kind.
Oh man. Have they got
I
dragons?
think
It could be a few
I
things.
think
it
I
could be
just saw a big bird.
How big?
mean,
Like we've seen some pretty
we've
big
seen-
birds.
We've seen the
Big.
big bird, the titan, right?
It's not something
Round.
that you
Was
would
it-
you would not mistake it for the Titan of Nested
Titan,
Clayface.
yeah.
So it's not a rock.
Oh, it's smaller than the Titan.
Not much smaller. Smaller,
Oh,
but
that's outstanding.
large.
Good, good.
Sort of
It's I didn't see it. It moved fast.
I would say you do not.
Attacking something fast?
Like cruising fast.
No.
I think you'd be able to discern, yes, leathery wings, not feathered wings.
Is that a giant bat?
What, in the middle of the day?
No, I haven't seen it before.
I mean, dragon. With it?
I mean, dragons are scaly, aren't they?
It had leathery wings, didn't it? What else has leathery wings other than small bats and giant dragons?
Giant bats?
I feel like there's something else in the middle of that scale somewhere, but I can't think what it is right now.
We don't know.
Anyway, we're going
Maybe.
there, aren't we?
But yeah, we've got to go there anyway, so I guess we'll find out what it is shortly.
Let's all be on our guards for giant flying things.
Okay. And I think because I'm in need of a slightly early finish tonight, I think let's be on the guard for giant flying things is a great place to finish tonight's session. As you, as the camera pans back to this magnificent, view of the Titan gliding down the road, away from the camera towards the elven citadel of Kai Wathel and the town that has grown in its shadow on the ground. So, thank you very much for watching. We will be back next week. Bye.